really good to create a good kind of a networking. So, well, you all are here, and I'm again thankful to the department who just taken the initiative to just organize this FDP. So it's a definitely congratulations to Electrical Engineering Department of ABS and all the members who are directly or indirectly associated with this. Well, thank you very much for inviting me on this platform. So let's begin with the today's session. And before going to start today's session, because it is my second session here, so we had an interaction yesterday also. And during my discussion, I was just trying to put up an importance of artificial intelligence in the today's technology, which is really important. And everyone must understand that this artificial intelligence is not a domain. Exactly, that's most important part. This is not a domain. If suppose we are having anything related with the today's work and what we are doing right now, if suppose we are able to incorporate artificial intelligence in that, then definitely we are creating a skill in demand, which is most important. And that is happening all around the world. The world is creating an interface of the technologies with each other. Whatever the work, whatever the domain areas they are working upon, they are incorporating the different multidisciplinary research within it. And that has a exactly value. Because if you see anything, if you have in your hand, it is not a single technology. It is an amalgamation of a technology. It is a combination of the different area of the domain and research. If suppose you have a phone in your hand, so you cannot say this phone is just only based on a hardware component. You have a great processor, you are having a good memory, you are just having a good circuitry, good LCD panel is there. That's not exactly important only. But your phone has a great importance of your software that is being installed in that. It has a great importance of the AI which is now being inserted, whether it is a Google now or whether it is a Siri or whether it is a IBM Watson. So if you see the technology has a combination of the different domain areas, then it exactly reaches to the need of the peoples. So that's why the yesterday's topic was just carrying out about the information that this artificial intelligence is not a specific domain, but it's a everyone's technology, and we should try to incorporate whether we have initiated it or not. That is a different issue. That can easily be initiated in the sector of the power electronics. Those are working in these areas. Those are working in the power quality control system is there. If suppose you belongs to electrical engineering, there you can create the smart grid systems are there. You can create some such kind of a good filtration system, active power filter that can be more smart, that can take the decision at the different environment to maintain your power quality. If you're working in the area of the electronics, then again you have a lot of opportunity, because electronics is having a vast area and definitely a scope of creation of this artificial intelligence. So see, the main concern about that, the main concern related with this whole session was only creating that artificial intelligence is basically an important attribute of today's technology, and one should try to incorporate. If you have not initiated it yet, try to create a small interfaces in that. Try to create a small attribute to make your system more smart. That's the important part. So, well, beginning again from there, that point, because we just had initiated this one, this is a vast domain areas, and under the vast domain areas, we talked about that different kind of a working phenomena and what are the other different attributes. So we got that machine learning and the deep learning is basically a kind of a way by which one can create the artificial intelligence. Because artificial intelligence is not a technology. Artificial intelligence is basically an application, and the exact technology is what? That is just being a heart of this one. That is exactly the machine learning or the deep learning. And now the today's session is covering those areas that if suppose we are talking about the machine learning, that we should work on that, we should try to work upon that, but exactly how it can be possible. So that's why the today's session is basically including this one, that machine learning or the deep learning sense, it requires some sort of the creation of the algorithms and where to write all these algorithms that we are going to start today. So I hope so this session might be again interesting for you, and definitely all the very best, because it is the last session of your 5 days FDP. So that's gonna to help you a little and just going to create a little interest about that. So I'm just sharing slide. At least someone please let me know whether this is visible or not. Is it visible?
Yes, sir, it's visible.
Thank you very much for just giving information. So while one more thing is here, my video camera is on or off, because yesterday it has off because of some reason. It's visible.
Yes, sir. Your screen is visible. A video camera is on too.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you very much. Thank you. Just giving me information about it. Same here. Thank you. So well, now I'm just confirming this again. My audio, my screen, and as well as my video, all are yeah, visible up here. That's fine. So let's begin with this one. So let's see, as we have just talked about, now we have a today's topic related with the begin with the AML using a Python. That Python nowadays is a definitely creating a great boost among the researchers. They all are working, they all are thinking about everyone's, you can say, if suppose you have a around 10 to 15 people's working in a technology, so maybe possible that one or two maybe it might be talking about the word Python, that I'm just working on a Python, that's what. So if you go for trends, again, what I suggested yesterday, so whenever you're just going to work with a technology, just go for the Google Trends first and find out where you are exactly. Whether you are too much of late, that from the peoples have already started for the couple of years about that, or you are just only the first one going to start recently about that. So that exactly give an idea that skill and demand. So if you see something on this screen, and we have just created a certain kind of a machine learning, and that machine learning is just finding something that is an apple. Yeah, that's so nice. I have just trained my system. Okay. So whenever it is fine, okay, it is all adjusting. Now some new data will come up. The apple is here, but it has a difference of color. So this robot is just taking a decision and creating, oh, on the basis of its learning and intelligence. That exactly what the machine learning. So where the environment is new, where the data is new, where the decision is to be taken up now nicely, and this machine is working exactly on the basis of performance, then we can say, yeah, now my machine, my system is absolutely adequate and now ready to work. So coming up this one, because today's session is not oriented directly to the machine learning, but the way by which we are going to create this machine learning. That's an important part for today's session. So let's start with that, because yesterday I had started about it. I talked about that machine learning, if you're talking about it, definitely you must go for the data first, because machine learning is kind of an encyclopedia. It is like you, as you are, you have a lot of things in your mind, and once you have the things in your mind, and then you are cognitive about the things, and your cognition and the recognition is going to help to make the decision about that. If suppose you don't have a data in your mind, then you would not be able to really give the decision on the basis of that, whether it is an identification of some person, or whether some action is to be taken on the basis of experience. Like just take an example, peoples are there around you and you can easily recognize the people, that this is my uncle and this is basically uncle's son. And similarly, if suppose you are on a road, then on the basis of your experience that some vehicle is coming to you, so how fast you must be to cross the road. So you are doing nothing, you are just picking up the data on the basis of your past experience, because you have already experienced that this particular car will take an amount approximately time to reach to you. On the basis of that, you are just taking a decision, performing well. And where, like just same kind of example in the case of the kids of growing up childs are there, they won't have that capability to take the decision because they have a proper data. So nowadays, it's more important, if you see everywhere, if we talk about the artificial intelligence, if we talk about the machine learning, if we talk about the deep learning, in all, in essence, if we see here, the data science is behind. So most important part is data. Now we have a definitely bulk and the definitely bundles of the data, and the data analysis has become too much typical, because every day making a decision, creation of a decision requires large number of data, and arranging and managing of this data requires a certain kind of a good platform where you can just find out and create your analysis in your way or as per your requirement. So if you see here in the business, we have this data science. If we suppose we are going for the logistic supply chain system, we have this data analysis. Finance, it itself creating a large database. Health, wellness, biomedicine, bioinformatics, natural sciences, information economy, social media. Exactly now, this is a very, very practical example of social media that we all have a great visualization of this data science. Social media networks, smart cities are being created, education, electronic teaching. Education, electronic teaching, it means like if you see here in the last couple of months, you have just created so many online sessions, you have already just delivering a great sessions for there, and now the problem is here the students are claiming that you have an issue that during this particular your classes or your academic sessions there was an issue. PPT is not visible. My PPT is not visible. Somebody can
Pankaj,
explain.
Pankaj sir, yeah, screen is visible, but as I can see from my window, till now, have you not opened the PPT? I think if
Thank
you
you
have
very much.
opened that, we are able to see only the desktop. That is, the 4 files are there.
Oh, thank you very much for giving me information because you know this team is not exactly helping me to make understand whether my this is a thank you. So whenever you feel like something, so I request everyone please just make me interrupt it and let me know whether it is visible or not. So I'm trying to do it again. So well, I'm just doing it. Now it is visible.
Yes, sir. Now it is fine, I think.
Okay, fine, fine, fine. Thank you very much for just giving information about that. Thank you. So exactly, this was the first one. Please kindly, if something happens because we are depending upon completely online system, so it might be possible something might be missing. So I request everyone who is a part of this FTPS session program. So let me know, please. Thank you very much, Amit sir. You have just interrupted me nicely. So well,
Yes.
now the PPT screen is there. Artificial intelligence begin with the ML using Python. This Apple is on a screen, isn't it?
Yes, sir. Yes. Fine.
Thank you, thank you, thank you very much, thank you very much. So I just talked about that. Like this is a machine learning. I've already discussed about that. This is a machine learning. Basically, I just trained my machine. If you see on this particular slide, that machine is completely trained and trained for the apple basis on the color, basis on the weight, basis on a structure. But if some kind of a new data comes, so the green apple, which is not available in India, if some kind of an apple comes around from abroad, then my machine, what my machine says. So you see here, so it's adjusting all. Oh, it looks at the subject. So the machine is saying to stupid to me that you are the stupid human and didn't tell me about this, but it is guessing on the basis of environment. So finally, it is just concluded this is an apple. And as I was just talking about basically a data science. So here we have this data science. So we're working upon just exactly. Can you pin me on like that? There is a like option of pin so that I can just find out my video itself because it's not visible to me also. So the who is the host basically can easily pin me. Yes. So while we were just talking about basically the data science and the data science is required everywhere in the every field. And let's begin with this example. A simple example is going to help us and going to make us more understood about that whether this particular is going to work it or not, how it is and where it is required. Just take an example, a very simple example is here. So we have just taken on the basis of that how it is being created. We'll discuss in the later talk. If suppose we have some alcohol is there and now we are just going to get that on the basis of the different kind of a content, what is the effect going to be happen with the sale of that particular alcohol. So the alcohol has a great kind of a content. Now the company who is just making a wine, that is doing that kind of analysis and survey that what kind of a alcohol effect and what kind of a taste is going to be created, so that the analysis which is to be done is going to create a more sale of that particular wine. So creation of this wine is deciding the different kind of a factor carrying the alcohol, malic acid, ash, magnesium, phenols, and so many things are there. On the basis of that, this particular analysis can be done. Now we see here, if you see in this particular section, this is showing that alcohol content and having a various kind of a thing that can be analyzed easily. So if you're talking about the sale, so having as much as alcohol is definitely going to create a sale in effect of that. Similarly, if you say sale per day is somewhat having a low effect of the alcohol, now the decision can be taken on that. So this is exactly the one aspect, and how this kind of a particular analysis can be done. This is basically as today's target. Simply another aspect, if we see, this is another example we have just taken, is suppose number of the peoples are arriving and reaching to a certain restaurant, and then when it is they are reaching to the restaurant, they are just watching, they are finding out that how many peoples are coming to us and what kind of effects are going with respect to the total tip to a waiter. That can easily be analyzed now, but it requires again a kind of a factors that are associated with the data. If you see here, on the basis of first factor, which is the total bill, and the second, whether it is a male or a female, third thing, whether it is a smoker or non-smoker, whether it is the person is coming in the daytime or coming in a evening time, whether it is a dinner, or whether it is a lunch. So all these factors are going to create a certain data, and now it requires to have a certain data analysis of this one. So tip which is going to be given to the waiter can be decided on the basis of the various factor. If you see here in this section, we have a time. First is taken as a dinner and the second time is taken as a lunch. So where we are just getting a maximum tip we are getting in this section, which is to be represented as a cross. And when it is coming to the total bill, it is a maximum. So those persons are paying a maximum bill have a great chance to get a great tip from that at the time of dinner. And simply this cross indicating, if you say that person is male, so there is a great chance that male will be given a great tip instead of a female. Simply you can easily find out whether that person is smoker or non-smoker. Again, this can give a classifications to you. So simply a waiter can easily get an idea that who is going to give a maximum tip to that person. This is kind of an analysis can be done. And that kind of analysis is now applicable when we have this pandemic situation and when we are having robots are serving to them. So this robot can easily take a decision that that particular guy who is sitting in a corner going to give me a maximum tip for my owner. So this is exactly one aspect. So having a cluster and unclustered data. So now directly coming on the section, which is basically a Python. So now we have a target to go with this Python. So if you see, this is basically a good symbol of a Python, and let's have a little understanding of this Python, what exactly it is. So if I talk about like Python, so Python, you don't go for a complexity of understanding of its history and everything is there, because right now we are working on the areas on some implementation and some research areas. So rather than just going to this, the more important part, what it can do for us and why we should adopt to work on a Python. So if we go for here, we found that it is performing a data analysis. First and most important task, data. We have a large and the vast data, and now it is going to analyze our data, which is the most important part. Once you have basically a data analysis, then you have an option to create your algorithm to create a task which can be done automatically. And the second important part, you can have an important learning of a data. So you have a set of data that you can create and make your learning of a data. And overall, if you see here on the basis of that, this is one of the best option to create your algorithm, to develop your algorithm, to create your machine learning. So that's exactly the part of Python we are going to work with this. Where it can be used exactly, if you go back here, all of these areas, if you talk about where the data, there is a Python. So the Python is going to help you everywhere where you just have a certain sort of the data. The data is going to help you, and this data can be analyzed with the help of this Python easily. So features of the Python, that's important. This gives you an insight why you should start this Python. So it's very simple, easy to learn, free and open source. That's the most loving part of this Python, that it is absolutely a free and it is available absolutely at the open source platform. So if suppose somebody is saying that I don't have a certain options to get a software, I don't have an option to have this one, and so much of issues related to work, so don't worry about that. You just start, it is available on internet, you can start it working. And there's no issue of the license, the piracy, that whether you have just work on it, so whether it is a pirated work or you don't have a licensed version of this one. Level is too high, so it's working so nicely. Dynamically typed, portable platform, independent class platform, interpreted, extensive libraries. So interpretation is too good. It is easily portable, can easily get your program here and there, and easily can be interfaced with the others. And definitely it has a great dynamics while you are just typing this one. So as we are having today's target to understand the Python, before going to, so you must understand some Python keywords that gives you that those keywords are very highly dedicated to the Python. Nowhere other than a specific tool you can use that. So here it gives you the keywords. The keywords gives you that false, none, true, and, as, assert, break, class, continue, and so many more are here. So those keywords need to understand first, because it happens if suppose you are writing some codes in a Python and you are using such kind of a keyboard, then there is a great chance of getting an error. So that error is just only because of the factor that you are using a Python keyword for other purposes. So that's what the keyword understanding is more important. And similarly, this is not only the one or two, you have a great series of the keywords. If you go for it, the import, lambda, none, continue, define, del, elif, else, except, and they are case sensitive, most important part. Like suppose if we have here, if you see here, it is false, it is in a caps, that definitely it is in a caps. So it has a meaning of this one. If the true is here, it is in a true. So that is to be taken very carefully because it has a case sensitivity. So well, rules for writing the identifiers. Now the second part. See, before going to directly work with the Python, where we should start, where we can work upon, the most important part, you should understand few of the key things. The first, take care about keywords. That's important. So just identify and just work upon that and do a little homework on that what are the keywords of Python. This is a very first step. I'm just taking all these in a one by one sequence. The most important part, find out, segregate and check, because it creates a lot of errors and issues. So first of all, check your keywords, then come on this one. Then again, whatever the programming environment you are using, you need to have some codes of writing, you need to have some variables, and the variables are called basically the identifiers here. The identifiers is basically a name given to something, the name given to a name, the name given to your values. This is exactly basically called as a identifiers. So most important, if you are going to start with the Python, then this Python identifiers should have a certain kind of a constant that is to be maintained properly. So first of all, you identifier can be combination of uppercase and the lowercase letters, digits, or an underscores. So my variable, variable underscore one, variable for print, all are valid by the identifier. So you are free, you are absolutely free to use uppercase and lowercase letters. You are free to use your digits. You are free to make a combination of digits and as well as the letters. You are absolutely free to make a good length variables, but just creating a segregation difference on the basis of that underscores. An identifier cannot start with a digit. That's an important part. So while writing a variable, one is a valid, but one variable is not a valid one. So take care about it. It might be a problem. Sometimes we write like two second number of fans, second number of things like that. So one thing, two thing, three thing is a wrong. Right thing one, thing two, and thing three. This is an important part. We can't use symbols like exclamatory mark, hash, at the rate, percent, dollar, etc. in our identifiers. That's are not allowed. And the most flexible thing is their identifier can be of any length. So if you see rules of writing an identifier is so simple. Like within a 4 course, you can easily go for. You just need to avoid only the special characters. You can use your underscore. Just avoid writing first your digit, then your variable. So the letters can be used first rather than this one. So it has a very simple rule. So if you see, this is basically a screen and on which a program has been written. We'll go that, we'll work upon that, and we'll try to understand how it is going to work with this one. And if you see here, so in this particular, I've just taken one program for you for this one. We are going to create this on the same environment and platform also. So my variable, I've chosen this. If you see, this has a great beauty that you are writing my in a small, we in capital, and having a variable and hello world. So this is your variable, giving an option to write in this one. So you can choose your variable like variable 1, variable 2. That all are going to work. So next is there. So first we need to take care about the keywords. Second, we go for the Python identifier. And third, now it is a type of data. What kind of a data are can be used? So every kind of the possible data, because it is working for the data science. And if suppose we are just having some compromise in the data, then definitely it has some loopholes to work with this. So it is supporting all kind of a data. So numeric is there, string is there, sequences are there, binary is there, mappings are there, creating some sort of the dictionaries like sections, booleans are there, and definitely a more combination set of the data. So it is working, it is helping you, it is providing a space to you work with a different kind of a data. That all are up here, and when we'll go for the next one, we'll see that how they are going to work. Like this one. So here if we see, so this is gonna work here. So similarly, if we go here next, again we have a different kind of option. We'll work with this one in the Python, and we have seen. So coming directly on instead of this one, let's come on to Python, how we are going to start this one. So I need basically assistance of someone to let me know whether we are visible with the screen or not. Yeah. So expecting whether this is visible. Yeah, exactly. If someone is here, let me know whether it is visible or not.
Visual, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Actually, yeah, I'm just changing. So, well, this is the Google Colab. That's we are going to work with this one. Thank you. So right now we are going exactly to work on a platform, on an environment, so where we can just write the program. So if suppose you're talking about the Python, so Python has a very flexible interfaces to work with that. And most important part is there, you can easily download it from the internet directly using a Python 3.0. Second is there, Anaconda is given a great packages. And on that package, one can work on like a Jupyter. So there is another notebook which is possible to work with that. The Jupyter is also available. And the third most important, and the various other platforms are here. So here in this session, I'm going to make you help to work with the Google. Google is also providing it's a great GPU for this purpose. It is going to help you. With the help of this one, you can easily access your different kind of a graphics with the help of a data sciences, and it is providing a facilitating you its own GPU. So this is exactly an important part. So here, today's session, we are going to work with the Google Colab. So Google Colab, if we go for, it is a zero configuration required. So that's a very simple aspect. So if you don't require anything as a preset, no need to install anything, no need to download anything. Just open your internet and start working. Just type in a Google Colab, open it. Free access to its GPU. It is providing a facility to its GPU. Easy sharing, then you can easily make your program saved here and you can easily transfer it wherever you require. You can easily transfer these files to your pre-installed software. You can work with the Python 3.0, and simply you can also work with the same in the your Jupyter notebook too. So this is exactly a well like kind of a good kind of a facility which is being provided by the Google. So let's we start. So before going to start, we should take care about that. Here we have a server which is going to connect. So if you just connect it here, it is going to provide you a certain space on its own server. So while you just go for this, so first of all, take care about that. Type in Google, go for the Google Colab. You will find out such kind of a page. And from here, you can create a new file. So you can create a new notebook. So this new notebook looks like this one. So you may have an option to create this new notebook look like this one. Again, it is providing an option to you that here you can easily go to put your own name. Suppose you are just going to give your own name. You can give like my file. It's a very simple name is given to you. So my file is here and then connected with the server. So now it is going to connect with the GPU of Google. And here you have an option to write your codes. Here easily you can write your codes and everything is there, and with the help of this play button you can easily run that. So here if you see here, basically this has provided a certain space on its own server. By this you can easily work and write down your program here. So instead of just typing and writing all these programs here, I'm just picking up a file which has been just created for you. So let's begin with this and to understand that. So this is basically a file I have created in a Atal FTP. So this file has an extension of IPYNB. That's an important part. So take care about it. This is basically a file which can easily be import and which can easily be export to the other interface of the Python where you can work upon. So that you can easily change whenever you want to. You just click on this one, you can change and edit your name. Simply, if your file is here, you can open your file with the help of this file. Go in an open notebook. You can find out that this open notebook will be available. So if you have a pre-stored file, that can be opened through the open notebook, and similarly you can rename that and the further options are there. Now, if you see here, I have a target to just write some code. So I'm just making it as a part of a very beginning. Those are already working on those areas can just specifically talk me later after this session to work in a certain domain. But this is a particular session of FDP session to create a development of just an interest to start with the Python for to deal with the data sciences. So if we see here, so first of all, I have just started and I just already created a program to you and just making you know, because typing will takes much time and it requires a lot of things to tell you about that, because it is, if I say it is a kind of an ocean. As much as you go in the deep, you will be finding out more things about that, more surprises are there. So that's why if we see here, so welcome to the world of the data science using the Python. So first important line which is written after a hash, this is basically a called as a statement. So Python is providing you that you can make your program a user friendly. You can easily quote your sentences, you can easily quote your instructions for your user. And once you're just quoting this one, you need to go for starting with the hash. So if suppose you're giving this hash instructions, if you're just giving this hash instructions, then it means that is not a part of your code, but just only a giving instruction included with this one. So this is one of the important part. Then you see here, this is a simple kind of a calculator itself. So Python is as same as we have a MATLAB, as we work in that, it is providing a same or other kind of a tools. It's a simple calculator. So dealing with all kind of a arithmetic application requires some sort of the arithmetic operators, which is basically having minus, plus, multiplication and division. So if you see here, it is facilitating you the floating point multiplication itself. So this is the one aspect. If you see here, it is given an option. Now the second is here. If suppose you're looking for the floating point exponential aspect, if suppose someone is looking to create a floating point exponential, so this shows you exactly that here in this case, this you are using a double asterisk and giving an option that 5 cube is here and you are getting a 125. So this is a very easiness, not creating a much complexity to make it remember. Now again, this is an inbuilt options and inbuilt facilities to you to just make you understand. If suppose somebody wish to understand, if suppose you have a data of A and the data of A is arriving because of some external interface and you want to know what kind of a type it is. So if you are writing like this, what is a type of 10? So it is helping you to give you an answer. This is an integer. If you are writing a type of 10.1, it is giving you an option to give an answer like that. It is a floating. And similarly, if you want to make a different kind of options are there, that is also available to give you the fractional and the rational values too. Similarly, it is also helping you to round off. So if you have a 5.9, it round off you for 6. If you have a 5.2, it round off for you as 5. As I already told to you, we have a variable sections here. So first of all, so by this we are concluding, by this we are understanding that here in this case, we are only understanding that Python is supporting all kind of arithmetic. The first important part, because it happens, because if suppose we are working and we are going to create something, then it's important to understand whether it is helping us, going to make us understand about the different kind of a calculation with the arithmetic, whether it has a restriction or not. So it has no restriction, it is helping you all. Then the second thing comes up, which is based on a variable. When you are assigning something within a particular area, like you are assigning something in a certain variables. So this has a facility. And this is helping you that my variable is basically a hello world. So if see, this is as common as we have a MATLAB using a basically inverted commas, and this kind of a variable is basically a string variable. And this can be visible easily while we are just printing it my variable. So storing or assigning this hello world in my variable and finally getting this print into the my variable is an output. Getting this variable 1, print variable 1, print variable 2. And while we are executing this one, if we run this one, if we see by this, you can easily run this one. This shows you. So it shows you that this is the hello world. There's a first variable, which is this one, because you're printing it up here. You are having a variable 1, which has a value 1, variable 2 has a value 2. So all are being printed here. Now the next section which is come up. So important aspect, assigning and printing of variable. This assigning and the printing of variable is helping us, like we are working in the area that we have a facility, we have a feature that we can easily add up, we can easily add on our data set values into the desirable one kind of a suits. So it is helping you to condition your data. It is helping you to arrange your data, because variable is only needed for the purpose of arrangement of the understanding of your own dictionary or directory. So this is exactly a point. So this help is being created by the Python. So this is again a very good advantage we have.
Sir, sorry to interrupt you, sir.
Yes.
Actually, Raj Kiran, I think want to ask one question in the meanwhile, in the between. Don't we have to declare identifier with data type like C and C++?
Hmm. Exactly. It has a compatibility. Just a minute. It has a great compatibility like a C++. So if you see here, it is giving you facility as a very similar as you have a C++, but just only having a restriction that you cannot use the special kind of a characters like that. So that kind of identifiers can easily be used. Okay. So
Okay,
coming up,
thank you, sir. Thank you. Please
yeah.
continue.
Yeah. So similarly, if you see here, like creating a variable with the integer values at the another option. So if suppose you take this example here, so here we are just creating a variable which has a basically integer value. A very simple. You are having a certain variable. You have just taken a and providing assigning its value 100. And then finally you just wish to see that what exactly it is that. So if you see this line, this very important line, this print option is as similar as you're talking about basically whether it is a C, whether it is a MATLAB, is a very similar feature is there. So you are having this print option to print. What do you want to print? You want to just print exactly the type and the value of this A. If you see here, the code has been written, the type of variable having value. So this is my code, what I wish to add with the output of the result. So I'm adding and quoting this one, and it is helping that the type of the variable having value A is type of A. Similarly, B has a float value, and third we have a complex kind of a values. And if suppose I'm just executing and just running this program, then what I see, this is basically a my code. So the type of variable having value 100. So if you see here, the type of variable value 100, because A is your 100, is type A. So your Python is giving an answer that is class integer. In the second case of B, it is giving you an answer that it is a class of float. In the third case, it is just giving you a class, it is a complex. So this is exactly a beauty. So this is helping you immediately by typing, it is identifying your type of an integer. That's one of the good thing. Next, if you go, if suppose we have a I am a learning ML. I'm learning ML, like this is a one of the variable you're using a string type variable. We'll talk about that, what kind of the different variables may be there. So if suppose you are having a certain variable in which you are just giving a certain kind of a string. Simply you have a B, I'm learning Python. And you wanted to print all those that print A and the print B. So you would be able to get this, I am a learning ML and I'm learning Python. And the Python is helping you if you have a supports a like a break values of the variables or different segments of the variables in the form of some strings also, whether they can be attached, whether they can be connected with each other or not. Yes, they can easily be. So we have a basically concatenate facility. We can easily concatenate all these kind of a variable with each other. So this facility is to be done with the help of a plus sign. Whether you can easily go for this plus that easily given a help you, or you can easily write whether you can easily concatenate it with the B. How it can be done? It can be written as the print A and similarly writing this statement and giving this B. Or you can write this plus. Executing this, if you see, so the one print which is because of this A is 1. Second is because of B, I'm learning ML, and the second I'm learning Python. And the third, which has already created in the part of print A, and I'm just concatenating with the B, then I'm just getting is I'm learning ML concatenated with I am learning Python. And the third, I'm using a plus sign, so it is indicating I'm learning ML, I'm learning Python. The sense is here, if suppose you have a large string set and where you wish to write in a different segment, you want to utilize this further for the different values, and the some place it is required to make it combine. Yes, it is possible to combine. Simply coming up the next one. Now this is exactly basically a category. So what kind of a category, what kind of a values you can assign this one? So I have already told you the numeric, very simple. And numeric data type, you have already seen what kind of a data type we can assign easily. Second is what? The string. Third is list. Fourth is tuple and dictionary. And nowadays, if you see here, whatever I'm just teaching, whatever I'm just taking care of here, other than that, presently the research are going on, the different kind of a data associations are just being created. If you see, if you find the every day and then the next day, you will be finding the more facility which are being incorporated within the Python itself. So if you see the first numeric we have already worked upon is string. If you see, welcome to the Python, this is a one case of a string that is here. If you go for the list, we have a certain list. We take an example. So here, just take an example of a list because we have already worked upon this numeric and we have already worked on this one of strings. So string is very simple. Just use only the inverted commas. Use those inverted commas and simply if you wanted to get a print of this one, it's a very simple command print A. That's as simple as you have other languages too. Now coming on the next one, if suppose you have a list, so what kind of a list can be created? That's very interesting. List is yours exactly as you have a pen or paper with you, and during that pen or paper you write so many things.
Sir,
Yes.
again a request. Actually, I hope that the session is going to be very interesting. That's why actually in Nirathi Siddhik is asking that sir, please give us a small test on this concept on collab so that we can understand better. So if it is possible that the uh,
Small test, what kind of test? That would be more better if you said interact with me. That because it is interactive session, yeah. So this is a sir, please
yeah,
give.
yeah, yeah. Directly, sir, you can unmute and you can ask the questions and you can
Yeah, yeah,
interact.
that would be more better because you know while I'm just taking, so I couldn't be able to check the test chats here. So it's better if you suppose interact with me. That's so nice. Okay. So whomsoever is here may interact. So I don't understand what kind of a test is here. Nirati Siddiq, please, if you are here, your question is here. Fine, okay. What I understand on the basis of that, let me answer this one. Uh, a test is, I suppose you want like if suppose the programs are being written here, use things like I should run it all. If suppose you missed it all, I just repeating this all, which actually and this is a very small session, and I have a great work on that. More than 30 hours videos are available on the YouTube. My own YouTube channel is there, and one can access that. And I have a lot of things to tell you. So many things are there. I wish to definitely tell to you, and I have having a great limitation of time. So that's why I just created a very special kind of a program like this particular file for the Atal FDP. If you see the name is already given like Atal FDP, this is a special, especially I just created this one. So that's why I want to create a interest in you so that you can start it by doing itself. So I'm trying to incorporate maximum things, so maximum areas, so that I can just put a little light on that. So one who is working on the more advanced area can easily pick up this one and we'll start. Meanwhile, I'll just taking care of your question. I'm repeating it. I think so. You are saying a small test. Your small test is somewhat related with a kind of a small module. First of all, it's a very simple. If suppose you have a Google Colab, so just go and type in Google. It's a simple Google Colab. Go there. Once you're just typing, you would be able to get this kind of a web page. It's a very simple web page. You type the Google Colab. If you go here, if you see, it's a simple Colab. So Colab is basically a facility given by the Google for the researcher that you can use our high powered GPU, which is exactly a great demand. Now everyone is looking for the GPUs. So it is giving you a facility to use your GPUs anywhere, whether you are in a bus, whether you are in a train, but you have an internet connectivity. That's only the key point. So this is the one thing. Once you have this Google Colab with you, so Google is going to give you a facility that you can create your own notebook. So create your own notebook. While you're just creating your own notebook, you would be able to get such kind of a page. And I also told you, here you have an option of connect. Once you connect this one, that means you are connecting and you are getting a space on the server of a GPU of a Google. Add there, if you see here, you have an option like you have a RAM 0.676 GB used, 12.72 GB disk space is there, that is available, that is provided by the Python 3 Google Compute Engine backend. So that is giving you a facility. This is a one aspect. Now once you just connected, now it is very simple. Here you have a code options. Just click on this code. You would be able to get a new code line. So this code line is as simple as you can write like a equals to 3, b equals to 4, and now you're just adding this simply and getting a simple solution of this one, a plus b. Now if suppose you are running this one, you are getting an answer 7. It's as simple as you are understanding and reading it all. So I think so you might have your answer. So this is whatever we are doing here. This is only a task platform. And meanwhile, if somebody will request me, I will share this file, complete file, which can easily be import from one point to another point. I will be giving to you this file. So you can just get your file, read these programs, understand these programs here. Then after read these programs and just put on a run button, then you will be able to get the answer. So that will going to help you. So it's better to be connected. And meanwhile, you have a question to just unmute yourself and ask me. So as I was just talking about, we have here, so numeric, string, list, tuple, and dictionary. So if we see here, so first of all, like we are working with the list. List is a very important. If we're talking about the data science, the data has a facility that it may have a like a combination of the types of data. It's not like that you just have a segregation of the numeric data one place and the string at the different places and having tuples and dictionaries. And it might be possible that you may have a different kind of a like combination of a data. It's as simple as you have a list in your hand and you are having pen and paper. So if suppose you need something, you are going to work and you are writing, you need a book, you are going to another side, you are going to purchase an apple, you're going to market and creating, I need to go and purchase one book, I need to go and purchase one apple, I'm going to work and purchase few stationaries, I'm going to work some footwears. So this is exactly just creating a list. So while the data is here, exactly, now this is not a data of a list of a one page. This is a matter of thousands of the rows and columns of the data. So then in this condition, that list is going to help you. So if you see here, under this section, you would be able to find out that list is a combination. Here I just created one in which X has some input, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, few numeric values, and one is a string. And if you see here, that is exactly executable and can easily be print. So if suppose you are writing this one, you just execute this. So simply clicking on this one, you would be able to get this one. This is an output answer. Second, tuple. There is one difference in a list and a tuple. If those are working in the mathematics and the working of the data science, they would be able to understand that tuple is a kind of a list. It is itself a list, but the data cannot be re-executable. Data cannot be editable like that. So this is another kind, which is basically a tuple. So the difference to create a tuple, the difference to create a list is only using a braces. So if you are using a square bracket or you're using parenthesis, so it is going to create a tuple. So take care about that. If you are going to make the list, use the square braces. If you're going to make a tuple, use a parenthesis. Then after, a third, a most important and very nice kind of a data type and list which has been created is a basically dictionary. Dictionary is kind of a thing like it is your data coming from other sources. Now you want to get your data in your way. For an example, you have hundreds of books and you have hundreds of different kind of books now at your home. So how you are just going to arrange that book? So first of all, you will just find out that 10 books are of engineering, 15 books are related with the understanding, and some of like related with the spirituality. So what you are doing actually, nothing. You are going to create a dictionary. You are going to create that assigning some other names to a particular kind of a books are there. So if you see, in your particular data set, it might be possible you are assigning another name to a data. If you see here in the dictionary, I have assigned first name 1, last name number 2, and the third is age. So if suppose I print A1, if you see here, this is a kind of a basically a script how we write this one. We are printing A1. So in this dictionary is uses basically in the curly braces. So if you see in this dictionary, if suppose I'm going to get the value of A1, what is the one level I have given? The one level I have given for the first name. The two level I have given the last name. And the third level I have just given as a name is. So level can be a numeric number. Level can be a simply a string. A level can be anything, whatever you want to give. So level has been given as numeric 1, numeric 2, and age. Then you see here, if you are printing A1, print A2. So what you are getting? First name and last name. And similarly, if you go here, if you see and you are printing age, then you are getting this 30. For that, I just make it more easy to understand. I have just created another dictionary for your understanding and just created this one. The one, my name is Pankaj, and I have just given my Pankaj first name, because it happens so many, like if you see typing the first name, your last name, and simply. So I've just given basically my first name assigned as a level 1, Goswami has assigned as a level 2, height has given a level 6. So here, if suppose I'm just printing all these values and finding out, like running this one program, so I would be able to get as A1, my first name as Pankaj, second name is Goswami, and third is 6. And as you was, one of you was saying that let me have a test of this, so you can just change. Now rather than writing this one, I suppose I write this, giving another value, writing first. I'm giving this, my first name is Pankaj, writing this one. Second name, instead of writing this second, I'm just writing a last. The last is given as Goswami and height is 6. And if suppose I want to get, it is a large data set. Now I want to name what is the first name. So here I have to mention this one. So I have to put this, instead of writing this one, I have to put this. I want to print this one as, so this is the first. I want to print my second name, last name as Goswami, and copying it from here and printing it up here. So if you see, the result will be same because I am Pankaj. I can change like for you, so just create a difference, Dr. Pankaj. So my first name, let's see, it is a Dr. Pankaj, last name is Goswami, and the height is 6. Let me see what output we are going to get. Exactly, that's very same, because my first name was labeled as Dr. Pankaj, my last name was labeled as a Goswami, and my height is to be 6. So this is a wonderful way of writing a dictionary, and this is a very wonderful way to just get the value from the dictionary. So it's not tough that you are just having a like a box of data, you're putting a great box of a data, and then after you looking that how we can get out that particular output. So assigning, labeling, and finally on the basis of level, one can easily get the data. As much of data has been assigned to that particular level. The data may be in the form of simple 1 dimension, maybe 2 dimension, maybe 3 dimension, and so on. So if you see here, list can be of an integer, list can be of strings only, list can be of combination that we have already discussed about. So all of them can easily print, any one of thing can be done. So see, if suppose you want to get this ML, AI, and the Python. So it has an indexing, that's a more important part. That's important. If you see here, you want to get the data from the string. So this is a zero indexing based. Very simple. It's very, very simple, very easy. If you count, so ML has a position at the 0 indexing, AI has a position at the 1 indexing, and the Python has a position with the 2 indexing. So if you want to get what is at the 0 index, it is ML. What is at the 1 index? 1 index, it means first position. What is at the 1 index? It is AI. What is at the 2 index? It is Python. And similarly more you can create. So list of having both integers and a string can be done, and simply if you have this one, if you see it's a 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So basically we have 5 index here, 0 to 5. So anything can be easily find out if suppose here. If you see in this particular program, so the go 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If you want to get only the particular value, so you can easily go for, I'm just printing it for you. Instead of this C1, I'm just printing one more value for you. Print C, because we have a data set name is C. In that data name set, we are finding the value of 5. And let me check. If you see in this output, so right now we don't have any output related with this go. If you go for, it's a 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So now you would be having a chance to get an output of go also. C. So now your list has an output because this C5, C is a database, and among that the 5th index is go. So it is giving a segregated value to you. So this is another point. So this is a kind of a facility of creation of a list and getting an output. And the most important part, what exactly I am trying to convince you, the simplicity. That how simple it is, how easy it is to create data in your form. It means in which form you are looking for, in your mood, and just getting out from data from this one. Now the next, if you see here, Python input and output. So I'm just repeating for you and just making it comfortable to understand that what I'm just taking care of this one here. I have just started with the keywords. I have just given the variable facility to you. I told you how to start with the Colab. You can write that you don't need any software pre-install. You can work with the Colab. Then I started talking about different kind of a numeric data. Then I started talking about what kind of a variables you can use, variables, or what kind of a basically identifier you can create. Then I talked about basically if suppose you have a different kind of a data set, what kind of a data set is going to be created within this one. So whether it is a tuple, whether it is a dictionary, whether it is a list, whether it is a numeric, or whether it is a string, and the combination of all. So that we have just created. If suppose we have such kind of a data set, is there any facility that we can take out a certain data from a bunch of a data? From a bundle of data, if you're picking to find out only one or two, like you are just finding a fishing out, it's very simple. Yet that you are in a river is too great, and you're just only fishing your fish of your choice. So generally in the river, it's not possible, but in the Python, it is possible. You can just pick up a fish of your choice. So this is exactly from the ocean of a data, you can pick out your own one, but you need to arrange it accordingly. So here now we have a next section which is related with the Python input and output. So if you go here, we see the print is the best option to show your output. Whatever you have as a result, just only come up with the print. So this print is going to give you the output window that can be used anywhere, that can be utilized. So the print is one of the wonderful. And the second is same as we generally use in the case of the MATLAB 2, which is the input. Just take an example here. If suppose I'm looking to find out the age of someone, so I'm just giving an input age. So if you see here, I'm typing a certain age. So I'm just typing a certain age is 35. So it is given output 30. So this input is helping you to create a variable of your choice, to create a value of your choice. It means the programmer is just facilitating to the user that now you have a chance, now you have an option to put your data. So this is the way to collect the data from the other sources. And simply the most important part, now the Google Colab has another facility that it is going to help you in a way that you can easily import data from your system. That's very important. So like the input is there, so you can just type the data itself, whatever the kind of a data you are looking for, you can easily type the data. Other than that, it is helping you if you have a certain kind of a different file that can easily be imported from your system, from somewhere at the location to the Google platform. Google can easily upload in its own space so that it can be utilized, so that it can be executed. So if you see here, so this is a very wonderful command. You need to write this one from google.colab import files. So this is a very simple, if you itself type, so those are looking for that we need a test, so I'm just typing for them. It's very simple, from create a space Google, then we are typing a simple Google because you are working with the Google Colab. So just go for Google Colab, typing this one, importing because you wish to import. So import. If you see here, this color will change and will show you that your command is too good. So import. What you import? You're going to import a files. And what kind of files you're going to import? You just enter it here. Give your own name. You can give your name. Suppose that I'm just giving a name of data. It's not always a text. I'm just giving a name of its data. Now it has a command. Files. You have to write this files dot upload. And they are going to upload this file and use a parenthesis. Once you just add up this command in executing, so this is going to ask you the data. See, it is asking data. Now simply go for the choose file. So you are choosing your file. I'm choosing one file which is named as dataset. This is basically a CSV file because your data is maybe in the form of Excel and like that. So now it is done. So see here, this file has been saved. This file has been created and has been saved. Simply, if you want to represent this file, that file can easily be saved in your way as this file has already been here. So coming up this one, and if you see here, one more thing is also easily available here. If you go for and click on a certain, so this is giving you a facility that you can easily add it, you can easily add on whatever you want to do, and you can easily delete any cell anytime. So if suppose I just created this cell, I'm deleting this one because I have already this one. So I've deleted, the cell has been deleted. Now executing the same one and choosing my file again, creating a data set, open. So I've got this value here. So my file is available. And while I've just given a name as text equals to file, and I wish to see what exactly in my file, just only type this text, it will show you what is my data set. So my data set is consisting gender, age, head size, and so on. Basically, it's the data set related with some sort of the age with respect to the head and the brain size and something like that. So that is available. So what's more important to understand here? The most important part is here that Google Colab, not only the Google Colab, but itself a Jupyter, whether you are working on a Jupyter, those are working on Jupyter and the Python itself, they are also facilitating you. It means the Python has that feature to work upon your data because it is basically just made up of data science. So it is you giving a facility that you can pick up data anywhere from your system. Up on your system, so you can easily pick up the data. You can easily get your data. This is exactly the facility. And that's the input, obviously. So we have basically input and output options. So output, one more output option is there. If suppose we are printing the data, that is showing only the result. But also this is possible to execute data in your own graphical manner. So we will discuss it a little later about that. Now there's again a very common operators arithmetic operators, logical operators, comparison operators. If suppose you have a data, you have a list, you have a certain kind of, yes, please,
Sir, excuse me, sir.
please.
Sir, for uploading a CSV file, is there any other way, sir, instead of upload?
Yeah, exactly. If suppose I'm talking about the Jupyter, so Jupyter giving you facility to directly save. Jupyter is giving a facility to directly save your data. But if we are talking about because Google Colab is an online version, so it exactly once you save your file, it is not providing a kind of a database to you to save. This is only creating your file to be saved. In that situation, it just giving a facility to import the data. Okay. So
Okay.
fine. Thank you.
Sir,
So
no, sir. My question is there any other method to upload the CSV file, sir?
exactly, I'm just saying, yeah, we have an option. We have an option to go for this. But if suppose you're working in the Google Colab, only Google Colab I'm talking about. If suppose you're working in the Jupyter, suppose you're working on the Python itself. So they are giving a as same because they have a certain kind of a interface. They are just giving a platform to you where you can just easily upload your file there. They have upload options there. But in the Google Colab, because you are working on the real-time basis, so this is giving you a facility to import this one. Other than that, if you're just going to work, so you have to give a very specific path where this one, like the URL is there that you can easily go and store for that. Okay. So creating the same one. So this is a one way. The best option is there. You just put your file wherever it is there. Just import this file using the simple line, and not only the CSV file is there, you can easily upload any kind of a data format, whatever you're looking for. It can easily upload your text format. It can easily upload your Excel format itself. So in which form is data is there, that can easily be imported as well. In the other interface, other platform which are pre-installed in your system, they are helping you to really locate your data within that particular software itself. So within the Anaconda, like, or you using the Jupyter or the Spider you're using, there you can easily save your files previously before starting a program, and you just call up your files that will be working upon. Now the second is here, like operators, that are the very common operators. Everybody knows about it. I'm not going to pick it more about it, but one should know that Python is helping to support all operators, whether it is arithmetic, whether it is a logical, whether it is a comparison, whether it is a bitwise operator, assignment operators. It's as common as in other language. If somebody has done a little work in the different languages, programming languages, they can easily get through that all are the working the same. So if you see here, all these are here. So we have plus, minus, all arithmetic operators are here. Comparison operator, that's important because these comparison operators are generally used while we are talking about the logical programming. That's more important. So this is exactly the comparison operator, as well as we are just looking for logical operators. So that all are important. So one should just take care about it before going to start this. One should have an understanding and knowledge of this one, that what are the operators, what facilities we have. Just put in your list. So with the help of this one, like all of these operators programmings are there. So not picking it up more about that, because more important part is there to just keep in this particular session. So one can easily go for assignment operators. So assignment operators are very same. If suppose you have a equals to 4, b equals to 6, and you want to exactly add something in a itself, so this is a plus equal to b as common. So printing this a plus b, it means now the a will become, instead of 4, it will become 10. So this is called as assignment operator, that you all know about that. Simply we have a bitwise operator also. If you see x equals to 10 and 7, so this is working like an AND operator, and this AND operator is working in the bits. So this is working on the binary codes, not only working on a decimal. So this 10 has a value of 1010, 2 has a value, basically we are having 0010, 0010. So these are working on, and this one, and working to get the values of a and b operations are there. So 7 has different value, 10 has different values, and they're giving output as like that. So this is as same as possible. So those are working in the field of the digital codings like that. So they should not feel nothing is there for the Python. Yeah, all the operators on which you are working upon, they are being supported with the Python. They are executing their all operations. So you just have the same thing that you can create your algorithms within that. So all these bitwise operators are working in this area. Similarly, if you go ahead, keep on moving on there, then you find out the logical statements are there. Then if and else statements are too good. So if and else statement are just giving you facility to condition this one. That's very simple. This is a very simple, like somebody is at your door. That example I have just taken yesterday. Somebody is at your door and knocking. And now your machine is thinking whether the permission of entry is to be given or not. So this is if and else statement like that. If you are, then you are permitted. Else, not permitted. So if it's somewhat related with your specific locker, then you can create such kind of a programming there and keeping this one and creating a face recognition system. So if your face is there, then this particular locker will be open, and else it won't be. So if, else, nested ifs, this all helping you to create a logical programming. And while you are just creating all this one, here you need to get all these comparison operators. So this is the Python also helping you in this direction. So I'm just coming up directly here, and instead of just getting this one, there's another operator which is called as a elif. So elif is basically helping when else and if conditions are mixed up. So else if, instead of writing this else if, we have a elif operator. So elif operator is working. If you see this program, so this program is going to help you a lot. Suppose that we have using this elif application, which is going to help you this one. Now let's check this one. First of all, in this program we are using this n input, enter the price between 1 to 100. So here in this program, a machine is going to take a decision on the price of a commodity, whether it is to be purchased or not. This is the basically a task, whether it is to be purchased or not. So if suppose it has a certain domain range from 1 to 100. So we are first of all creating a program and asking what exactly the price today. Suppose take an example of Apple. You have just made a machine, you have just created a device that if suppose a price is more than 5 or more than 1 or something else is there between 1 to 100, then you are going to purchase, otherwise you will not. So instead of you, your machine is going and trying to take a decision. So here, this particularly in the case, we are creating a condition if n is greater than equal to 1 and n is less than equals to 5. Between 1 and 5, we can predict that the price are too low. And if suppose it is going to work, this is a elif greater than 6 and less than, then definitely it's called as a medium price. And another condition, if suppose we are going to create n greater than 21 and less than 14, the price is large and it is 41 to 100, then else at last, because this is conditional, nested if is there. So we are going to create elif and finally the else statement. And this is going to help you that if something is not between 21 to 14 under this range and more than 41 to 100, it is too high prices. So you have just created a program using what? You have used a conditional statement as well as the conditional operators. So this particular small program is helping you to understand the price of a commodity and taking a decision whether you say that is a low price commodity, whether you say it is a medium price commodity or a large price commodity or too large price. So this program, if you see, it is a combination of first how to get input. Second, so this is restricted. If suppose somebody is entering 25.5, so it is restricting this n has become integer n. So if somebody is giving an input of 35.5, it is not picking up. It is assuming this 35.5 is only a 35. So you are restricting this one. So this is a basically utility of a type. So first input, second type of a data. Third, you are using if statement, it means a conditional statement. Fourth, you are using conditional operators. Here you see. And finally, at the fifth, you are using an output. So this program is a multiple module, small segmented module of the different objects. First, your input, how you're going to get the input from others, how you're going to restrict the input from other. It might be possible because it is user independent. User has a choice, may enter anything. So you are restricting that you cannot enter anything. We need only the integer. So this is what restriction. Then you are going to work with the conditional operator as well as you are going to work with the basically conditional statements. Then finally you are just getting this one. If you just, I am just doing this one for you. If you go for and running this, so it is asking you just enter the price. So I'm entering a price of 50. So what it is giving answer to me? So once I'm entering this price, just yeah. Once I'm giving this price 50, so it is showing it's too high price. And the next time, let's see, I must enter a low price. 20 of this. So now it is saying it is a medium price. So this is exactly the aspect we have here. So this is example, a wonderful example of if analysis statement. So my objective is here to make you understand that here it has a facility, it has an option that you can create your own logical statement. So it's as simple as you write your language, except you're picking up only the keywords and operators. Then after, if you come up here, you have a loop options also. So the loops, basically we are using the same kind of a loop as in other languages are there. We have the for loop options. We have basically the while loop option. So it's a very wonderful example. If you see here how the loop is helping you. Suppose that I have just taken a simple variable name as case and I'm typing this Python and I wish to individually type the letter as a print. So see here, the writing command of loop is simply for. What I'm just giving, this is being used as a basically a letter as a part of a keyword. So letter is a keyword. For what? I'm running up this loop. I'm running up this loop for letter. Where I'm just running this loop for what? Where I'm just checking this letter in case. So you can choose your ones. So for running this letter in case, if your variable name is case, running this letter in the case, language, whatever name that you will give. So whatever the variable you will give, it is going to check all the letters in this one and is going to run for that number of letters. Now you're printing this letter and this printing letter is taking, it is running 1, 2, 3, 4 and so many times as Python is there. So it is typing Python. You can easily get a change here. Instead of writing this Python, you can easily go for writing Python is a good. So if suppose you're just creating this one, so it will run for the same time and you can easily find out that. So Python is a good language that can easily be done. Simply, if suppose you have something else, instead of writing this case, you can change your own variable that can be created here and the same has to be changed up here. This is the one way. Now, getting it more simply, if you see here, if suppose we have a list of a fruit, it has an apple, banana and cherry. Now looking for this for X in fruits. See here, for X in this X is basically used an index which is used for the list purpose. That is a very, very important point which is need to learn with the practice. That what is this list? X is there. So X is basically creating an index in this list for X 1, 0, 1, 2, 3 in where fruits. So if X does not equal to, so checking it up. Now it is checking the condition. If X equal to banana, then break. Otherwise print X. So see here, now it is running for this loop and coming up this one for one apple. Is apple is equal to banana? No, its apple is not the banana. Then what it is doing? It is printing. Then coming to the second banana. Is banana is equals to banana? Yes, then saying break. Now don't run the loop. So it is a use of for and break statement. Now the third condition, if you see here, we have a cherry. Now in this case, if suppose instead of this banana, if you write it here, cherry, and then you run this program, then you have a basically two output, apple and banana, because it will check first index value, which is apple, second index value, which is banana, and coming up to, which is not equal basically to the cherry, and then coming to the third value, which is equals to cherry. So it is checking up all this one, and once it is just finding the things are true, then it is only breaking the loop, otherwise it is running for. Simply, you may write one or more things, like it is writing 1, writing 2, writing 3, writing 4, and so on. Then it is checking it out, and let's see what output you are going to get. Yeah, apple, banana, 1, 2, 3, 4. But when it comes to cherry, obviously it is going to break. And simply, if you suppose put your cherry earlier than everyone, sorry, earlier than this one, then you are gonna to get this one. Sorry, if suppose you're gonna to get this one, this. So let's check it out. Nothing will be printed because it's gonna to break up. You have just put your cherry here. So this is really very important and very aspect. You can put the fruits without breaks. So the target is here. For and break is a good combination to use a limited set of data, whatever it is being required. Second, you can just get all the data with the help of loop. Simply, you can continue the data while it is being checked, not break. So if you check here, if you see apple and the banana is here, so you are just checking this condition is true, you just want to print continue. Simply, you have other options with the help of a for loop. So loop is basically helping you just only to get a repetition of your program module. It's very interesting and very, very important. When you have a repeated data set, then you are going to help. So the objective to deal or to discuss with these example, just only that it is again helping you to create a simple programming with the help of a loop. So Python is also helping, because I'm not going to make you understand more about the loop. You all are more aware about that. More important part is there, how the Python is helping and supporting the basically loop formations. So it is helping the loop itself. It is helping the loop of the while loop itself. If you check here, so while loop, you know that it is definitely finds condition until unless condition becomes true. So it has options. So if you see here, one example we are just taken here. In this case, we have chosen this, a simple variable which is taken as CNTR. So CNTR I have initiated with the 0. While CNTR is less than 10, let's make it 5 to make it small. So when it is until it is less than 5, it will print welcome to tutorial of Python. When it, or every time I'm just incrementing it. So it is started with the 0, incrementing it one time. So until it becomes equal to 5, it will keep on printing this one. Else classes of see you next time. So let's see how it is working on. Yeah. So it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it is running for the 5 times, and every time it is incrementing, and this one. So this is giving you a facility to just put a certain condition, and that is going to work. So right now the class is not off, it is still continue. So this is exactly the use of utility of the for and as well as the while loop. So again, important part, the Python is very easily supporting you to work with your own program and the loop condition. So do not worry about that. It is very easy helping you to associate this one. Coming up to next one in the section, and the most important, if you see the target is here, so all kind of functions are there, definitions are there, it is calling up the functions, it is helping also create a modules, creating a functions, and function calls are there, as simple as we have in C and C++. Now coming up directly, some important aspect, which is the more important is here. And instead of just picking up this function, let's come up some libraries. That's important to understand and to know. So this is exactly related with the data science and data analysis. So initial tasks were directly related with the other languages. What special additional we are having in the Python? The Python is basically supporting few inbuilt libraries. The first is the NumPy, which is called as a numerical pi. Second is called as a Panda. Panda is basically known as for the panel data. Basically SciencePy, Science Python is there, and etc. If suppose you're looking for some graphical things, then Matplotlib is there. Plotly is there, Cburn is there, Bok is there, etc. You are working for statistical models, then Python is giving you facility to work with these stats models. If you specifically have a certain algorithm to design in there, then the Python is giving you a facility and direct toolkit to work with that. This library is a SCI kit, Keras, TensorFlow, and Theano, etc. Web scrapping is there. So this is basically Scrappy, and the beautiful soup is there. GUI, if somebody is looking for some three-dimensional aspects are there and looking for like dynamic effects are there, then we have a GUI toolkit too, and that all are there. But it totally depends upon what is exactly your objective, what your areas of target. So almost we have all the libraries inbuilt within the Python IDE. But if suppose anyone is not there, if you feel that, so there is one specific command one has to know, that mark of exclamatory pip install panda. And more important, this particular process is different while you're working in Jupyter Spider or working with the Python 3.0 IDE platform, and while you're working in the Google Colab. So Google Colab is helping you to pip install pandas. So this is the command pip install your library, whatever the library name is there, whether it is a panda, whether it is a numpy, whether it is a matplotlib, whether it is a plotly, whether it is a cburn, whether it is a sci kit. So if suppose you're working and you're feeling that that particular library is not there, all these libraries are available within the Google Colab. This is exactly the most important benefit. But it might be possible that you're working on Jupyter, and there it might be possible that you don't have a certain library. There you have an option, you just find out. And for each and every installation, there is a specific command, and that is available at the open source. You can easily get that command, how we can install Panda, how we can install NumPy in my Jupyter. That's it. So before going to start, you should ensure that particular library is installed. Once this library is installed, then you can use like that. So this library is installed in Google Colab. Now it is a target to import that library. So import of the library is importing NumPy as NP. This is exactly the name given to it. You can give your own name, whether it's an NP, whether you can NMP, your short name. So this is the way to create your own library name. So here I've just created importing NumPy. So I want to work with the NumPy as an NP. Now most important question is there, what is the NumPy and what is going to help us? NumPy is basically numerical Python. As you see, if suppose you're looking for the machine learning, then again, yesterday I had a discussion on that regression process. So regression was having great statistics to find out the basically a mean square and as well as. So where the number of the numerical things are there and you need to create a large data set, a related and reference sequence. At this situation, it might be possible you need to deal with the different kind of numerical attributes. Now this NumPy library is absolutely helpful for you. So if you go here, you find out import NumPy as NP. Simple, it has its own command. It has its own script. So you can write np dot array 1 2 3. You can create your own one also. 4 5 6 and running it on. So it is simply creating an array. This is the one way you are creating your own list and own array. But you suppose you have a certain sequence and you don't want to write a so much long number. Instead of that, this NumPy is helping you get this np.arrange. So it is gonna to create an array for you. Instead of 15, let's say I just created for simply 7 for you. If you see here, it is going to start from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. As I already told you, this is basically zero indexing. Now the next is there. this is a one-dimensional data. If suppose you are looking to create a data which is np.arrange15.reshape in the 5,3. You have a certain data of np15 and you want to arrange it to the 5 cross 3. It means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rows and 3 columns. So that's possible for you. You can easily go for. So see here, this is the way. So first of all, it is creating an array of 15, then it is reshaping this array in this form. So see, this is exactly a facility. So such kind of a like arrange, reshape, all these script are available in the NumPy. So if you just type on simply on Google, so you would be able to get more itself inbuilt script, all of these. And with the help of that, you would be able to get that what script is going to reshape my data in what way. So this is the way of NumPy. Second, and so many things are there related with the NumPy. You can find out how many zeros are there. You can create a different numerical attributes with this one. So many aspects are there, and that as somebody will be interested, those are having that may easily contact with me. Now the second inbuilt most important library when you are working with the data science is the pandas. That's the different. This is exactly a different part while you're working in the C plus or while you're working in the MATLAB or you're working on the other platforms too. So import pandas. Panda, I've already talked about you. This is a panel data. When you have a data into the form of some tabular summary, tabular form, then it is called as a panda. You have just created importing this panda, writing every time this pandas, it is better to write in a short form to PD. I have just created. It helps in the creation of series and the data frame. So a very simple example I have just taken for you is suppose that you have a data. In this data, you have some LEDs, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You have switches for that, red, green, blue, orange, yellow, and white. If you see here this data, so LED number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and definitely it has a colors of red, green, blue, orange, yellow, and white. So if suppose you want to get a certain summary of this one, so how you're going to get this one? So here I have just created a dictionary. If you see here, we have already talked. So data has a dictionary. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 has been assigned as a level LED. Red, green, blue, orange, yellow, white has given as a switch. So for that, I can change it. Instead of writing this LED here, I can write a switch. Let's say I write it as a switch, or I just write it as a LED. So now I have a switch 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and have this LED here. See, this is going to work up here, and we can create the data frame according to that. So now this is giving a facility PD. We have a data PD, it means panda. Data frame, see, these are the case sensitive. So if this data frame is written like that, data frame, so it is framing your data. Which data? The variable you have just given for the dictionary is data. So it is giving this kind of a tabular summary to your data. Now see, it is so simple and so easy. So if you have a distinguished directories of the data, you can easily get its tabular summary. This is one of the good advantage of the panda. Not only this one, but such kind of a multi-fold benefits are there that you can easily pick up the data, you can easily import the data, you can easily create the data, analyze the data, that all are possible. One example that I have already taken up here in the slides, that was, suppose that a company is looking, a wine company is here, and that wine company is looking to create such kind of a analysis that if suppose we are creating some alcohol wine we are going to create, and whether what kind of a prices may be there. So we need such kind of a tabular summary, because wine is having a number of things like alcohol, malic acid, ash, and magnesium, total phenols, and so many things are there. If so many things are there related with this one, so how they are going to analysis? This requires a data. So this data, as I told to you, this one that can easily be imported from the Google Colab. So I have a data set. I have chosen this one. If you see here, this is a wine data. It is a large data set. I have just picked it up. So it is showing basically there's a data set of the wine. Now you want to read this data. So if suppose this is a CSV file, you have to read pd.read csv wine.csv, and you can get the data like this one. So here we are having this data. All this data can be represented easily. Then after, if suppose you are reading this file and you want to get a certain column, then you can easily get only that particular column. You can remove any column. You only want that particular, what are the heads of data, only the 5 values. You see data dot head 5. You can easily get only the first 5 values of this one. You want to get only the tail 5, you can get the tail 5 values. And suppose now, which is the most important third part, is the matplotlib. What you will do is with this data, if suppose you don't have an option to show and get a graph, and do option and to get a graph of this one. So this graph is going to help you. This graph is going to help you to really analyze this data. So if suppose you have this data, you have just given this value. So with the help of matplotlib, this matplotlib is helping you to create the data in your way as a graphical form. So all this data can easily be represented in the form of matplotlib. So matplotlib can be imported as import matplotlib.pyplot as plt. So this is exactly a command, and you are just writing in its form of short form. This is a plt. So plt dot plot, and you can have, like, I've just taken one example for you. Plot plt plot. This is basically a script. What do you want to plot? I want to plot 1 2 3 4. I want to plot this one, so I'm writing plot y label height, I'm plotting x label distance, plot dot show, and getting this all printed. Similarly, you can have x and y using this plot command. You can get this one, and you may have all these in the form of a straight line, as well as you can have in the form of. So if you see here, that changes can be created. If suppose take an example, now I'm using this matplotlib example and as well as using a numpy. So I have used a certain values np arrange 0 10 .2. So this shows you my arrays starting from 0 ending at 10 with the spacing of 0.2. So if you see here, this is basically an output printing in this one. And now I'm just creating a plot of this plot of s with respect to s, checking it out. And all these features, if you see r cap, if you s double asterisk 2, if you see here, this is basically bo and gs. This is can be possible to change the colors of this one, colors as well as its shape itself. So all this r cap showing this bo blue in the form of o, it means a dot, green into the form of some squares, and r into the form of some triangle. So red are the triangles, blue are the balls, and green are the squares. That can easily be changed. So exactly the target is here, like that can easily be possible, and this is possible only because of what that we are having this matplot library. Simply, if you see scatter plots are possible, the same thing can be plotted through scattering. That is a facility. Plot is scatter. You can easily scatter your data, which is exactly a requirement of a machine learning. So meanwhile, if you see here, if I talk about a lot are here and lot to go for, and simply I have just taken and just concluding this session because I have already told to you, if we start working on a Python is definitely a great ocean. It has no limit. And we can talk for a couple of hours, for a couple of days on that, and we will be keep exploring on that. It might be possible that every time we will be just getting so many good things about that. So it's tough for me to just really cover a large number of things within that, but even that, I'm concluding my session. I have just initiated the thing to make you understand that algorithms are basically a mathematical combination of the different kind of variables, and the Python is here to helping with the dealing of all kind of data, helping you to creation of all kind of data, helping you creation of all kind of forms of data, and helping you creation of all kind of graphics of that data. This is exactly a Python. So here by this, I am just closing up this session because I know this is almost a time gonna to be for a lunch, and then after you have a validity session. So this is exactly from my side. Moreover, I am available every time, and you can make contact to me. You may just get from the organizers my number. Yesterday even that I just given my LinkedIn profile and as well as the YouTube link too. So there you can get a lot of videos. Meanwhile, you can get directly to me, you can contact to me. Somebody who is interested may easily write my email ID, which is basically a Pankaj ji, I'm just typing in a chat box for you. Dot engineering at the rate tmu.ac.in. So this is, I'm just giving a chat box. You can easily contact on me and get more details. But definitely, I'm feeling a definitely lack of time. So even that a lot of things are here, that how the Panda is helping you to create a more beautiful aspect of your data set, and Matplotlib is giving a wonderful visualization of your data. And Numerical Pi is going to create a large data sets for your data, as much as you want, infinite data room. So while by this, I'm thankful for you all to just patient listener. Over to the organizers.
Thank
Man
you, thank you,
invited for the
Pankaj sir.
yes.
It was really a nice session actually. It was completely a practical session. I can see, completely 2 hours I can observe it. And I request you participants, if any you doubt, you can here you can question or you can mail. Yes, so I'm getting the in the comment box. You can see a lot of people are saying it is very informative and very helpful actually. And it's not my hope actually. I'm damn sure that the people they are doing research in the Python, they can get the things that how practically they can implement the things well. So, sir, on behalf of entire ABS family,
Not only the case
I
of the
thank you.
Python, I'm sorry, I'm interrupting, not only the case of Python. So those are working in anywhere where they have a certain data, like not a data set requires large number of data set. They're working with the data. They have a data concept like there they can work. If suppose you're working on a switch and the LED bulb aspects are there, even they can use this Python to just write their research papers to tell the students to work upon like that.
Yeah, sure, sir. Sure, sure. Actually, getting feedback from the people, so I am 100% sure that people really enjoyed the practical session because that is more important rather than the theoretical thing because people want to implement. So thank you, sir. You have given your valuable time. Even we have requested you for the two session here. You have accepted our request. So on behalf of the entire ABS family, I thank you once again. And I request to all the participants to that please attend the valedictory session too. That has been the time has been shifted a bit. So we are going to start at 3:45 because assistant director from AICT Atal is coming in the valedictory session. So accordingly we have shifted the time. So
Thank you very much.
thank you, sir. Thank you. So we can conclude the session here and
Sir, am I audible?
yes, sir, Vikas sir, you are audible. Please tell.
Audible and visible too.
Yeah.
Thank you, Pankaj sir. Actually, I am in the car now. Although I have reached home, but still I am inside the car. Thank you, sir, for accepting our invitation and sir, am I audible?
Network disconnection.
Yes, sir. Yes, Vikas sir, you are audible well.
Actually, there is first of all, thank you, Pankaj sir, for accepting our invitation and sparing time for delivering two sessions.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. My pleasure.
Moreover, some participants are asking that is there any test? So for all the participants, please note that a test will be conducted, but that test will be after the and valedictory session has been postponed to 3:45 because that AICT Atal Assistant Director Dr. Girdhari Lal Garg will be joining with us. So that valedictory session has been postponed. You all are requested to attend that session. And after that session, a quiz will be conducted and that link for the quiz will be sent on your email. So please check your email for the link and that link will be active for 30 minutes approx. Is there any other question related to this?
Hello, sir. May I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Sir, if possible, तो हमें exact time please बता दीजिएगा क्योंकि we are working. कि किस टाइम पे क्विज होगा? Because अगर 30 मिनट का विंडो हम लोग नहीं ले पाए तो फिर दिक्कत होगी, या फिर आप उसको शाम में 7 बजे तक के लिए ओपन कर दीजिएगा.
What I can do, the duration will be around timing. Is it possible that I will send that at 6 p.m.?
Yes, sir, it is possible. It's good.
6, I think 6 will be
6
better for
p.m. will
us.
be late for some of us because already in the schedule it was informed a bit earlier, right?
Actually, ma'am, the quiz was scheduled after the valedictory session, and as I have already mentioned, that valedictory session has to be postponed. Uh, so whatever you will say, that I can put at 5 o'clock also, 5,
Yeah,
6, or
at least by 5, sir. At least by 5. So 6 will be too late for some of us.
whatever you want to say. I need to just send that link to you and set the time 5, 6, 7, 8, whatever you will say.
Okay,
Sir,
fine,
open
fine.
the window for more than 30 minutes, huh? Then it will be right. Open the window for means that the window timing आप increase कर दीजिए. That will be okay, I think.
Yes. No, it should be 5 to 7, you can say.
Okay. Not an
Yeah,
issue.
it may be some of us are driving at that time, so it must be
Yes,
for
sir.
2 hours.
Think
Yeah.
that 5, 6, 7, whatever you will say. If you are saying that I can open after 7, then I can open after 7 also. Whatever you say, I can keep that time.
Sir, for 2 hours, 5 to 7.
Yes, sir. It will be. I think it will be okay for all.
Sir, can it possible before the 5?
Uh,
Yes, sir. Be starting from the 4 o'clock because after 5 they are in the driving.
so
5 to
that
7 maybe.
2 hours driving.
Yes, sir. It's possible. Then open from 4 o'clock.
Sir, after 4 to 5:30, I will be on drive.
Yes, so that's the problem, sir.
So
Previously
make
it
it
is
4 to 7 then, sir.
previously it is actually mentioned the quiz is 3:30 to 4:30. So it may be started
Yes, sir,
from the 4
because most
o'clock.
of us
Better.
plan based on the schedule, at least around the schedule. So 6 means and it will be very late.
But one thing can be done. What I will do, I will share the link at 3 only, and it will open up to 4 or 4:30. Is it okay for all?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes,
that will
yes.
be perfect. Yes, sir.
Thank
So
you.
it will be before the valedictory session. Okay.
Yes, yes. Okay.
Yes, thank you, sir.
So, sir, paper is of how many minutes?
30 minutes.
Okay. ठीक है.
Okay.
No problem.
Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you.
Okay, sir. So I will try to share the link around 3 or 3:15. Let me
Okay,
check.
okay.
I'm in
No
driving
problem.
mode. Let me reach, and I will update you within 10 to 15 minutes. I will write in the chat box itself in the Microsoft team.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Or those who are in the Telegram group, the information will be provided in Telegram group also.
Okay.
Okay, sir.
And
Thank
sir,
you,
the link is open till 4 o'clock.
4:30.
I will share. I will give complete instruction with that.
Okay, sir.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Okay, sir.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay,
So
sir.
now we will meet in the valedictory session at 3:45.
Okay, sir.
Okay, sir.
Okay, sir.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Amit. Yes. Sir, your voice is not audible properly.
Sir, what time will be the quiz?
I will share link around 3:15.
Okay. The link will be open at 3.
Yes, yes.
3:15 बजे